Hey, everybody. I will take you right into the intro and then I will be back to say hey.
Home in the valley, home in the city, home isn't pretty, ain't no home for me. Home in the darkness, home on the highway, home isn't my way, home I'll never be. Burn out the day, burn out the night. Can't see no reason to put up a fight. I'm living for giving the devil his due. I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you. Time is the essence, time is a season, time ain't no reason, got no time to show. Time everlasting, time to play big sides, time ain't on my side, time I'll never know. Burn out the day, burn out the night. Now I want to tell you what's wrong from what's right. I've seen suns that were freezing and nights that were blue. But I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you. Burn out the day, burn out the night. Can't see no reason to put up a fight. I'm living for giving the devil his due. I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you.
Let me make sure I'm not muted. How's everybody doing on this fine Sunday morning? I couldn't come. I know I said I was going to go live last night but it was just, I was exhausted after yesterday. It was a long day and the kids had a great time. So, um, yeah, let me get my banner on. Alrighty. And unfortunately, today I will be playing a little bit of background. Tazzy! Wow, it's so good to see you. How are you? Hey, Hope. Hey, Thor. Yeah, that lady on that panel was, got a lot to say about that. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Bo. There's been, I guess, I Last night was a trip. It really, truly was a trip. And I'm not playing all Brittany's live, but I did record the parts that I wanted to play. Let's hope everything shows up right. Um, but I did it because she doesn't, she has a habit of taking everything down. And I wanted to make sure that I had the parts I wanted to play. So if she pulled one of her takedowns, then, but I don't know. And then, Tony's on TikTok, supporting Seth, uh, saying how, he's all, the cease and desist were warranted. And, the same old schmill. It's Katie and Chris's fault. It's Katie's fault. It's Chris's fault. Seth is perfect. Seth does no wrong. Uh, Seth has done everything to find his son, whereas the mom and the stepdad have done nothing. The same old schmill. Yeah, I, oh, Thor, you didn't, because I didn't go live, but I bounced into a couple uh lives that were going on, and Brittany, girl, that light bulb don't click, does it? It doesn't work, does it? What do you want? Oh, my daughter's driving me nuts. They got all these little gadgets from all the games they played yesterday, and oh, they're everywhere, and they're driving me nuts. I have part of yeah, I can play part of. We didn't catch the very first part of it, um, because they spew the same shit. But I know where that the last part of it is, and yeah, I'll play it. It's just, oh my gosh, now this thing don't want to charge. I am not in the mood. It's really hot sitting out here at poolside today. I don't want to turn the fan on because I don't want it to interfere, the noise to be too much. Oh, you know what? I don't like you either, charger. So we're even. Okay, it likes me now. It's charging. Who knows? Maybe if it shuts off, I'll come right back. It's charging, but it's weird. It's really weird. I know the battery saver's on. You dippy, I turned it on. Oh, how about just telling me you're charging? I don't need to hear none of the other stuff that I already know. Oh, no, Bubba, you're not. Bubba is not. You're not coming out here laying this heat. Today's heat index is supposed to reach in some areas around here 107. I'm like, yeah, no. You're out of the loop, been sidetracked with the Karen Reed. Yeah. Oh, we are good. We need to do a live on the Karen Reed crap. There's just, did you all hear the stuff that Tom CPU is saying? You tell me why that man has not been arrested for witness intimidation and attempted witness tampering. The things he was saying to that young girl, because he's telling people she made a phone call about some benefit he was getting because he's not actually injured, he can actually work. But yeah, number one, you'd really have to have some strong evidence to prove to me that the McCabe's give two shits about you. They would even waste any energy doing that. And number two, you're a liar. Yeah, that's the number two. I cannot believe the things he's getting away with. That man should have been arrested. And he put the lie back up, but he took that part out. But he should know better. Once it's on YouTube, it's forever. But it was gross, man. It was gross. But I have got to do a live about all that stuff going on. I'm up on Twisted Tea's panel with the trial most days. But I think I keep saying I'm gonna stream it for mine, and then I got the kids home. Summer vacation is totally throwing a wrench in everything. But I'm actually gonna do that. But oh my lord. That dude Tom, I'm sorry. He's scary. He's scary. I He has no problem going to people's homes and following people. He's done it. He's scary. And these people need to be protected from people like him. Hey, Rowdy. It's insane. It's insane. But I'm going to see if. Uh oh. No, I should be able to get it on my channel because it's private. Recorded it to streamed it to my channel, but I privated it so it wouldn't show up. Um, so I could play the parts I didn't want because I didn't want to play the whole live. I don't care about the whole. Wow, everybody's live. Granny was the only one live, or Twisted Tea was. Tazzy, you want some factual coverage on the Karen Reed trial? Go to Twisted Tragedies channel, and she's been in the trenches with this from day one. Um, no, I think I have to go through YouTube Studios for the private. I think so. At least that's how I do it. It's easier. And guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. It's not going to be a very good day, but I got the important people here. That's what matters. Granny was just when I kicked myself off panel. I hit the wrong damn wrong button on my phone. But I thought she was getting ready to take off and end it because she had even asked Arctic if he was going live. Because she had some family plans she was going to do, or so I thought. But I'm sure she'll finish. She's having a good panel. Huh? Is this the video link? Oh, you're telling me it didn't record right? What? Wait a minute. Now it's pissing me off. Oh, you know what? I'll just go to her channel and get it. But I could have swore I had it on mine. Maybe I clicked the wrong one. Hmm. That's weird. I got the question marks there, but where's the video? It says upcoming, but I hit uh, go live. That's really weird. Huh. Well, I don't know what happened there. But ever since Betty's interview, I know she's had free reign on everything she says, But it just, since the interview, it's more vile, more disgusting. And she gets away with it because she knows that they want her to. They know that Betty problem. She will, they know that. But they also, the downside with it is they also know they can't control Betty as far as how far she'll go. And it's going to get to the point where he's going to have to write her off too. Because, oh, you guys want to do the panel? Do you want to hear him? Hey, Remy, him first. Hey, Taz. It's good to see you, Taz. But I promise you, this week we are going to do lives. We are going to stream the trial. a day, and we are going to do a live just talking about it because there's so many clips I want to show you guys just of Karen's actions in the courtroom or lack of reactions. She does have the resting bitch face all the time, but the stuff that isn't talked about in the court, all the stuff going on with the nut jobs outside, it's insane. So we can do Bullhorn real quick because it's not a lot. I'm not going to show the whole live because I want to choke her the whole way through it. We'll do this. I already got it brought up. We'll do this first, and then we'll honor Bullhorn. But this was whoa, this was a crazy. This was Brittany J's last night, and on Granny's, the Jules of Thought lady, still running her mouth. She's once you hear this and then hear the stuff. Oh my God, Granny, you got the patience because I couldn't have did it. I couldn't have had that woman up. Sorry, I couldn't have. She's deflected from everything. She would not take any part ownership in making fun of the name Proudfoot and of she wouldn't take no ownership, and she kept deflecting. Oh, Remy, you don't know about the nut jobs outside the courthouse? Tom CPU and them? Yeah, Jules' titles. Yeah, exactly. Yep. That woman has been one of the biggest bashers of Katie and Chris without any evidence. Okay, Taz. But we'll get into this. And
there's nobody.
You guys don't want to hear it again? We don't have to. We can get on to Betty. It don't matter to me. I appreciate you guys for coming in. It's a little discouraging, I'm not going to lie, but I'm sick of trying to go live and worry about everybody else's lives. I'll never get to go live if I keep doing that. So there's no creator respect on YouTube anymore. There just isn't. And that's just how it is. Sadly, but it is.
It is. It's not all going to showing him how to take have a practice.
Oh, that Nana gets on my nerves.
I'm talking
no
about
matter what Seth does or says, all she does, oh, Seth, you poor man. Oh, you sweet dear. I love you. I love Sebastian. Shut up. You don't love them. You don't know them. And when you're this deep involved in something, you need to back away because this should not be affecting your mental health and your personal life like it is. You are too obsessed and you are too involved with total strangers. It's creepy. That's just my opinion.
Chris.
Oh, yeah. No, I've got many.
All right, I'm going to turn on my background music because I don't trust any of them, to be honest with you. I'm beginning not to want to trust anybody. If it's too loud and interferes, just let me know and I'll turn it down. But I don't trust Brittany, especially.
Any problems with this dude?
You might have to show them what they don't. I mean, my daughter is
saying here.
I'm just gonna make this quick because
listen, I probably. Okay, can you hear me?
All right, he's getting ready to come on.
Quick.
Hey,
Darby.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can.
All right, listen, I promise you here, no one's going to disrespect.
I'm just gonna make this quick because it's 11 o'clock at night.
What you should have said is, I promise you, I'm not going to ask you about any of your inconsistencies, any of the things you've often got wrong, or any of the attacks you keep putting on Katie and Chris. I'm not going to ask you why you put out such personal information about your son. That's none of our business. No, I'm not going to ask you none of that. I'm going to kiss your butt. Because, see, I need those numbers. Because you hear me in my opening. I tell y'all, I love you. You keep my lights on.
I've been busy all day.
Okay.
Man, I got an early morning. I've got searchers coming
Mr.
in
Nobody.
again next week.
I do it because when when someone tried to copyright me, just out of, I want it at the beginning when I first started going live, I asked YouTube about the music thing, and they said it does help make it transformative and, harder for people to strike. So that's why I do it. Had YouTube itself not said that, I wouldn't be doing it. Trust me. It gets on my nerves. I only do it with certain ones, though. Ones that I know are strike happy.
Got places to go. Got to get what little sleep I can.
I understand.
I sent out 6.
Back in the beginning, somebody had given me the 800 number to YouTube. I got to find it. I have it wrote down somewhere. And I used it. And I called and actually talked to a person.
And assist. These people are nasty.
Oh, they are.
And no parent of a missing child should ever have to sit there and listen to the people slander him and be I've listened to people call my son a sexual offender.
No, those words came out of your mouth. I have not heard any creator say that about Sebastian. I've not heard anyone call him that, because I would have lost my top. It said, you are the ones out here doing this. You don't understand. You do understand. I take that back. Wrong words. You are well aware of what you're doing. You've created all of this. And you continue to put this stuff out here. You're sitting on a panel that has no originality. She's never done anything on her own. She uses everybody's content badly, too. She tried to do the interviews. It wasn't good. But, yeah. Just like this one isn't. But, yeah.
I've listened to people call me one.
Yep.
All right?
Hey,
I didn't
Scout.
have any relations
Beer can. I'm going to show your buddy in a minute.
Sebastian's mother until she was way after the age of 18. People need to get off their high horse.
I'm sorry, but the math ain't mathing for me. She had Sebastian by 19, correct? And there was allegedly other pregnancies. Yeah, see, Seth, the math isn't math. I don't know. I don't care. Look, dude, it's not even you're the one putting out this personal information, not Katie. And you don't have a right to do that. It's her body. She has a right to say what's being said about what went on with her body, not you. You are no longer her husband. You have no right to speak on anything like that. But you're going to hear him backtrack on here a couple times. Oh, you do? Good for you. How do you do that? Hey, Miss Labor how are you? Hey, Chris Kress.
Horse.
Agreed.
Because I'll tell you right
Mr.
now.
Nobody, I had intros trying to make short outros. And I had the license, copyright license that says I could use it. And I never got nowhere with YouTube with it. They still kept I'd include the license thing in and they'd still copyright it. I gave up. I gave up.
Now, I don't have to do anything and God will knock you down. But I sent cease and desist to make sure that there is proof in the legal system that I am not connected to these people.
Okay.
Yeah.
That way,
You were
I'm not
connected to these people. You were very much connected to a lot of these people. But because they wouldn't be your puppets, like your BHB and this panel, you didn't want them anymore. Because they wouldn't do your vileness for you. And I'm allowed to have that opinion.
sitting there and they can sit there and say whatever they want. Defamation is pretty easy when someone's sitting there for 6 hours on a live panel, letting people talk massive amounts of crap about me and accuse me of everything from putting a nail into Jesus Christ on a cross or pushing the red button for Biden. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Number one, I've not heard anybody accuse you of doing stuff like that. What's been said about you is what you've done, your own actions, what you're putting out here. The people that you went after are the people that want to help and keep Sebastian in the forefront. Why don't you want him up front no more, Seth? Why is it always about me, 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 me? Money, 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 money. Just asking a serious question. You're trying to stop people from keeping your son in the forefront, from paying for billboards and putting them up, going out searching on their own dime, on their own time, putting up flyers. Why would you want that to stop? Because they're not kissing your behind? Interesting fact.
You say whatever you want about me, but when you start talking trash about my son, or
I've not heard anybody talking trash about the boy. I could be wrong. I'm just saying I haven't heard it, because I would have been livid and I wouldn't sit there and listen to it.
Pictures of my son and stupid little things for click me bait because you guys want to make money. And when I
wait a minute. Clicky bait? Make money? Dude, are you serious? Are you... Who's your new BFF? Huh, Seth? Who's your new mouthpiece? She's the queen of clickbaiting and grifting. Are you kidding me? You're referring to Betty, right? Right? You like Betty because she will spew the vile crap you want put out here. You know you can feed her little bits and she'll take them little bits and turn them into mountains. And you're good with that. And you know she has no problem doing it because the woman don't have a soul. But okay. You guys are the clickbaiters. And Dolly Vision. And I don't support Dolly. I don't watch Dolly. And Brittany. And that thing in the wall. And Spanky Boy. Yeah. The ones you support are your biggest clickbaiters. But okay.
I see you all. I mean, everybody who's out there.
Hey, Claire.
When
Hey,
my
Day
YouTube
Tripper.
channel comes out and I sit there and I make people pay for a membership to listen to me give updates, I know that I'm going to receive.
Okay. Now, they've been laying the groundwork for this channel for a couple weeks now. Now he's starting to say everything's going to be under, and they are going to do that. I truly believe they are going to attempt to keep everything that you have to pay to watch it. It's all about making the money.
Nothing but negative attention about it. Nothing but negative attention, because Lord knows I'm the child's father. I need to make sure I have flyers.
Lord knows he has a mother who loves him very much, who wants him home just as bad, if not worse, than you. He has a stepfather who was very much a father figure to him, and you know it. You've even let it slip a few times how you call Chris dad too. So knock it off, Seth. Seriously, knock it off. You're not the only one with a missing child here. Yet you have no problem going from panel to panel to say everything negative that you can muster up about them too. How do you think that is helping?
I need more yard signs. I need more materials and more resources. And there's not enough.
I'm going to tell you what, dude, I would imagine you had, because I found out there was 2 Cash Apps at one time. I am quite sure. I know what the GoFundMe was at. Well over what your goal was. I'm quite sure you got that, if not more, and are still getting cash apps. So don't tell me you didn't have enough to get some flyers. Chris was making signs of putting them up. And look at what happened to him because he was trying to help. They turned it and twisted it all around and he was taking stuff down. They've contributed to the billboards. Have you?
Absolutely.
There is not enough until my son comes home. People want to talk about me being at work. That's my personal life. Get over it. You're not going to find out if...
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I get it. When it's about you, it's your personal life and nobody needs to know it. But you have no problem putting out Katie's and Chris's, right? Got it.
If I'm at work or not, it's none of your business. I've had people infiltrate my home. I've had people sit there and literally lie and have conversations that you just wouldn't have with a person. Not if you actually had a soul. And to have people come in afterwards and call me on a live chat and I didn't even know I was live and start asking me questions about stuff that I had no idea what was going on. That's pretty dirty. All right. And then sit there. I get...
I don't buy that. I don't buy a lot of what he just said. I'm sick of that. Well, I'm not on social media. I don't know. Yes, you are. And you know. You're well aware. And I don't believe that anybody was sent in your house. And I knew you're the one that gave Betty that. And that's why Betty ran with it. I knew that came from you. Before you would even say it out here. You gave it to Betty first to let her run with it. But I don't believe that. Trev shouldn't have took that picture. I agree. Especially without asking you. But who was he sent by? Who was this girl sent by? And what kind of a person is she that she would let anybody command her to do something like that? You know, be your girlfriend. Gross. But yeah, I don't know.
Phone calls from Sumner County and from TVI about everything that's going on. Well, they need to stay in their lane. Don't ask me what I have a civil attorney doing for.
Law enforcement does not want... I can understand why they don't want to work with him. This is exactly why. They are in their lane. They're law enforcement. They're trying to find your son. They are trying to keep him in the forefront and not all this drama crap you continue running with. But that doesn't give you the attention and other things that you've been getting, does it now?
For me.
I'm sorry if I'm being harsh. I'm just fed up. I have... Ooh.
They need to be focused on investigating and finding my son. But every time one of these creators open their mouth, and I say that term,
dude, they're trying to do that. You're not helping the situation at all.
Very loosely, because there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are not creators. All they are is, we'll take what this person did and we'll go over it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
and
right.
I'll tell you right.
Yeah, you're right. Brittany, he's describing you to a T. You've never done any original content. Oh, you're a commentary channel. That's what they do on YouTube. But I don't think you've ever done any original content. So, yeah, you're right. You're talking about yourself. God, you're so pathetic.
Right now. I have no respect for them. I don't. But that's my personal opinion. And I don't care if somebody has respect for me or not.
Seth, that's part of YouTube review channels. I'm a review channel. but I do go do some of my own things as well. But, you know, I've got to use news and articles. How do you think we get the info? But then when I'm doing commentary, in fact, the panel you just jumped up on was doing exactly what you're sitting here complaining about, saying they're not creators. And Brittany's sitting there saying, yeah, right, because she knows she's doing it as well. That's all she does.
I'm looking for my son. And I said, I will dance with the devil and show the devil a few moves in order to find my son. And that means I'll do whatever I need to do within the limits of the law, because me going to jail doesn't help my son.
Right.
But I will never stop looking for him. And anybody that wants to be an obstacle in my way, I feel sorry for them. Because karma's a bitch.
You're your only obstacle. You're trying to block people who have kept Sebastian in the forefront, Seth.
And God will knock them down.
Oh,
You're right about
quit
that.
bringing God into
I want
everything.
to
All right.
clear something up with you while you're here. This
And
this
just
is
so
to
you
help
know,
you.
I sent 6 people cease and desist. 6.
I don't know.
Sick.
Not
Are you just tired that you're speaking like that, or I don't know what's going on here? I picked up a little something, but that's in my opinion.
50.
Okay.
Yeah, 6. Not 50 like T-Rev is talking about. And I tell you what, anybody that's out here on a YouTube, whether they're a creator or whatever they want to classify themselves at, if they're literally out there spreading Sebastian's case in a positive light, not a negative light. There's enough negativity in this world. People say,
Seth, the negativity is coming from you and Tony and your little team, as you call it. It's nothing but negativity. Are you kidding me? You've got some loudmouth out here accusing Katie of drinking while she was pregnant, and that's why Sebastian suffered the things he has. And you're okay with that. You're okay with her out here saying they murmured him. You're okay with that. Do you not understand? That is...
I start drama.
Oh.
Don't ask me questions that start drama. I'll give you an honest answer.
Look, dude. No, you won't. You guys have been the drama, though.
You may not like the fact that I give an honest answer, and other people may not like the fact that I am brutally honest. But it'll even say in one of those...
No, you're not. Chris has been brutally honest. You're not going to find all the inconsistencies like I have watching your interviews over and over again. Hell, I wrote down ones I found during this one from previous things you said. But Chris is the one people were saying was brutally honest. They didn't like it because he was so brutally honest. So now you're copying that. Here we go.
Declarations that Katie wrote in my divorce, that I tell people the truth. And I literally will sit there and state whether it has anything to do with it. And that always used to piss her off. She hated it when I talked about anything that was going on.
Okay, why are you going? Why are you taking the conversation to yet again disparage Katie and talk about Katie and your marriage, which has been over for 8+ years? You are still very much living in that time period in California. You are stuck there. That's the only memories you talk about with your son. It's the only thing you talk about with your life.
Ow. She was like, that's a random stranger. I've been like, well, I can't talk to you about it. I'm going to talk to a random person that doesn't know anything and bounce the ideas off of them. Because they might have the answer. God may say, this is how you should answer this gentleman.
A random person.
And give me the answer, because God works in mysterious ways.
Oh, jeez.
That crazy person.
Why do these people always got to use God? Why?
Asking for change out there on the street corner. That person could have an answer. The first places that I hit were homeless encampments. I've been homeless before. Thank you to my ex-wife for making me homeless.
No, that's where you're wrong. You're a whole grown-ass man. Thank you to you for your behaviors that caused that to happen. Take some ownership and accountability.
Why didn't I get full custody? I was homeless, living in a vehicle. I praised God every day. I got joint custody. Do you think I wanted full custody? Without a doubt. I should have my son living with me right now.
Why?
Yet I'm still a suspect of my son's disappearance. You guys don't know what kind of effect that has on a person's psyche. To know that I'm getting phone calls from law enforcement about me sending out cease and desist from my attorney, who is doing her job because she wants to make sure that people in the legal system know that these people do not represent me, and therefore they have been sent a cease and desist.
So law enforcement did not want you to send out those letters?
No, law enforcement has called me about it because everybody's up in arms that I sent out a cease and desist. Some of these people live right there in Sumner County. 3 of them do. T-Rev lives there. Klumati lives there. And so does T-Rev's girlfriend. I'm not even going to speak her name. She ain't worth it. Whoa. All 3 of them live there. And you know what? T-Rev has never showed up for a search. Oh, he bought hot dogs and buns. Appreciate it, buddy. I didn't appreciate everything else you did, like taking a picture of me while I was in my recliner in my house. Stepping into my sanctuary and violating my sanctuary. Because not only
But you've supported the channels that have violated Katie's sanctuary, Chris's sanctuary. You've supported all that.
you violate my sanctuary, but this is also my son's sanctuary. I didn't appreciate that. Klumati showed up for, one search, only one search. And she acted all nice and friendly. Introduced herself by her name, not by her, never once told me that she was a YouTubist, none of that sort of stuff. But I treated her like a regular researcher. Hi, thank you. I appreciate your help. And then she turns around and plays, I want to be number 6 on, CP's list of marriage or whatever you want to call it. I don't care. People want to talk trash about me, but people want to look at me and tell me I'm trash and that I'm despicable because I have an opinion, an attitude.
But you're not, it's not an opinion, Seth. You are out here spewing vile things about Katie that have nothing to do with it and are none of nobody's business. And not being honest, if you want to hear it. But you're trying to stop people who have actually done things to help. They just won't be your mouthpieces to attack Chris and Katie. So therefore, you have no use for them.
You don't deserve.
My son is missing.
Exactly.
Okay? Nobody who's never been in my position has the right to tell me anything. All right?
Okay.
Those that do have been in this position, I've spoken to. And I get different opinions from other people. And people want to, you need to get rid of this person on your team. No, I get rid of people that I watch their activities, I watch their actions, I listen to their words. And when actions and words don't meet up.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they're attacking Chris and Katie and kissing your behind, they're good. As long as they're not looking at the facts and they're not saying what's true is there's no evidence of anything being done by anyone. You don't want nothing to do with them. If they try to stay neutral and unbiased, you want nothing to do with them. Only if they do it your way with hate.
Something is wrong. I've always been a person that explains to my son that anybody can say anything, but your actions will speak louder to your words. What CP did to my son, is
And yours do.
horrific. My
Yeah, he
son
did.
cleans his room. Why? Because I use logic with him.
Mm.
Sebastian, you can't find this toy. You know why you can't find this toy? Because I had to come and clean up your room while you were gone. Now, if you clean up your room and you put things back, when you come back in here, you will know where everything is because you've put it in its special spot.
Exactly.
You didn't make him clean it up and go take his things to the trash, right? Make him put his
Hell no.
things away.
Again, that is not abusive. I've done it. There's nothing wrong with taking a garbage bag in your kid's room and saying, look, you know, I've told you to clean it up. Yeah, you're idiots.
Yeah,
You know,
that's-
this might be seen kind of selfish, but
Hey,
I'm a
T.
parent. I'm on a limited income because I work for the county. All right. I make $50,000 a year. I work 12-hour shifts and I deal with
That's more than a lot of people
murderers
make.
and inmates that I believe can change.
absolutely.
All right. And I treat them like they're human beings
Mm.
Yeah.
because I expect them to change. Are my sights set too high? Probably. But that's not for me to judge. I'm there to make sure they're safe while they're in jail before they go to prison. All right. I have a badge. I'm supposed to uphold that badge.
He has a badge. Here we go again.
I don't hide behind that badge.
Mhm.
I am the representation of what the badge is supposed to be.
Me. Sebastian takes the backseat to you all the time.
Honor, integrity, courage, commitment.
Uh, integrity? Mm.
Only I can do that. I've had inmates, oh, you hide behind the badge. No, I'm the same person when you see me at Walmart in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, grabbing a gallon of milk and orange juice to go home so that my son has milk and orange juice to drink. Pick him up, whatever he wants.
Okay, that's not a big deal. All parents have to go grab milk. You make it sound like you should be patted on the back because you did the necessary things.
Whatever he wants to cook for dinner or whatever he wants me to cook for
Yeah,
breakfast,
that's more money than a lot of people make a year.
so on and so forth. I work. When my son is here with me, I work with him so that everything in this house is his.
That's actually good income for a single person. There's families that don't live off that much a year, you know?
He knows what is his. He has to have room to grow. You cannot sit there and keep somebody trapped in a cube and expect them to grow. That does not work.
Absolutely. 100%.
People want to give me grief for how I raised my son. Well, I am sorry. I didn't think I should take him out on the street corner and pick a fight with somebody and show him what a real.
But you can go at Chris and Katie for being the full-time parents that had him the bulk of the time. You can go at them, right? Okay.
Beating was. Yes. Did I tell my son I was going to bust his butt? Sure did. Did I use that exact verbiage? Probably not. Hello. I'm a first-time parent.
That's stop with the. Oh my gosh.
It's a never-ending, everyday learn something new.
Yeah.
So I used a video game, which is better than watching an R-rated movie with a bunch of people being shot and having heads cut off or, you know, things like that. No, I took a video game that we have played and I put the blood mode on so you can
Oh, it's
actually
coming
see
up.
it because before there was none. I turned it off. He doesn't need to see all that. But yet I get criticized. And most of these people that criticize
I
me
doubt
don't
that.
even have kids.
Yeah, I honestly don't hold that.
I have never once said I was perfect, nor will I ever.
Brittany, can you ever, for once, stand on something? Stop it. God.
Say I am perfect. Sebastian, my son may think that I walk on water, and I never want to lose that. I never want to
I
lose
don't
that
think that's the case, but
because that
okay.
means I'm his hero.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're right. And you don't deserve
Have
to
I failed my son? Oh yes. I am my worst critique ever. None of these people I hear saying anything can make me feel worse than I already am until they sit there and start talking about my son being a sexual offender or any of that. My son
So,
was
hey,
with me all last on the Christmas break. Faith wasn't here. I saw
Okay,
that rumor girl.
that wasn't all last year. He was with you for a few days of the Christmas break because you were allowed to see him. Don't make it like he lived there. You did not. Oh, stop it.
Going out there. Sebastian was with me before Faith even got here. So people need to shut that rumor up.
We
All right.
did. Trust me, we have fought diligently to
That's
make
quick
sure
15.
that
It wasn't a rumor, Seth. It's what you said. Your words were used. The one you're sitting on the panel with is one of the ones that twisted it all around on what was being put out about that, what was being reviewed about it. She's behind the misinformation on that, right there, the one sitting above you.
that's not
She
true.
tried to blame Nonsense and Granny for saying something they did not say. They used Seth's own words is what was played. She's the one who twisted that and made it an issue.
It's missing.
That's right. And that should never, that should have
Excuse me.
never come out of anybody's mouth. And believe you me, here and in a lot of places I know, Seth, it's not, it won't be spoken, and we shut it down. That there's nothing to even that
But
is
there
ever,
are YouTubers out here.
And you still won't admit it. Brittany, you were wrong.
That promote that stuff. They got cease and desist because they're nasty and vile things.
No one is promoting that about your child. I have not seen that anywhere. Other than the ones twisting it up, it was her panel that did that, in my opinion.
well, they have an agenda, right? They're playing up to Christopher Proudfoot. They wanted him on panel because they're getting the views from him
Thank
being
you,
there
T.
because he acts like such an ass.
You know, we could all act like an ass, and that there is nobody in this world that can't act like one. But what it comes down to is that he's not looking for Sebastian. His family's
right.
not looking for Sebastian.
That's
His
right.
own mother.
You don't have communication with them because of your own actions and behavior. You don't know what they're doing. You yourself said you don't talk to them. So you have no idea what they're doing. And yes, they have done things. Not only that, they listen to law enforcement and they communicate openly with law enforcement. They're not going on panels attacking you, Seth. They have never done that.
Sebastian's own mother is not looking for Sebastian.
Oh my God.
It's insane. It's craziness. To
That's
get in a
what she-
camper, to get in a camper and go 3.5 hours away from your house with your child
Well,
missing.
come on.
She had to go. You people like you putting out this misinformation and the horrid attacks you do on her and Chris, her safety was an issue.
It's 3 hours and 37 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you. How foolish of me. You're exactly right. That was so bad.
You know, let's break this down because Lord help us, we may or may not get stuck behind a semi on Route 40.
Yeah.
You know, it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid just
It is.
because nothing is ever finite. Everything is infinite.
I'll tell you
There's
what, that Jules, her channel and her videos, she's disgusting. She needs some attention. She needs called out. She is downright disgusting.
No, it takes 3 minutes to do this. That's bullshit. You ask anybody. There's too many holes in their stories.
Oh, it's just incredible.
And
It's
there's a ton of inconsistencies in everything you say too, Seth. But show us. Show us where they've lied. Show us where all these holes are.
I know where I was at, and it really upsets me that they haven't cleared me. They have literally pulled over a year of my phone records. They have taken all the electronics. Yeah, I want my son to have his stuff back. I want my son to be found and walk into his room and it be set up just like it was when he went missing, so that he can start readjusting back to life.
That's right.
Okay, and if nobody has an autistic child, then they don't know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Brittany,
But
can
my
I
son,
knew
when
it.
he came home,
I
he
know
would
it.
walk into his room and everything is left just like he
I know
picked
it.
it up and put it.
Yep, that's his comfort.
Of course you did.
That's his
That's his
comfort.
sanctuary
12 hours
within our
last night wasn't
sanctuary.
enough.
And what's funny is he doesn't, when he's at my house, he spends more time in the recliner than he does in his own room. Because he'd rather be out here in the living room where I am
Yeah, they still have them.
than in his room like he is at his mom and Chris. He stays in his room there.
Yeah.
Here, he lives in my shitty 2-bedroom with a garage, 900 square foot place that I pay rent for. That my rent has increased since I moved here in October of 2020. My rent has gone from $700 to over $1,000, and
Oh,
I
you're not the only one, Seth. Everybody's rents went up extremely a lot. Not unusual.
don't move because he is used to this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He
And I
has
want to
his own
say,
room.
I want to
has
say
his own-
something on your behalf about that real quick, okay? Because I'm tired of everybody saying everything you say has something to do with money. No, what he's saying is he's willing to rip himself off by not finding something cheaper because he
Or
wants
bigger.
his child to have a home
Yep.
that he is safe and I have a child on the spectrum too, Seth, so I get what
So
I
you know
get
how it is.
Yes, I do.
Change is constant, but if you can limit what little change,
Yes.
then it does them so well.
Oh my lord.
Yes. And then when he comes home to you, he's home where everything's where you left it. For I understand.
Yeah, they
Yes.
did say they have
More
theirs
than
back
you
home.
know.
And that
I'm
is
so-
something. Chris and Katie have said they got their stuff back. But Seth still hasn't. I don't know. I don't know.
Sorry for what you're
Yeah,
going.
payments to, yeah. Yeah, he didn't answer the question though. He didn't say, no, I am not charging. He did not answer the question.
Through. I tell you, it
I
grips
tell
my
you what,
heart.
if I get my son back, I don't care. I'll go through even more. But I want my son. I want him found. I want him returned home to me. And all these people out here, I hope like hell you never have a child and have to go through anything resembling what I'm going through. Not even for 30 minutes. Been over 100 days. For me, it's been even longer because it's been 7 more days.
So sorry, Seth. So sorry.
And it's just there's evil people out there. There's people that are negative naysayers, ones that just love to start drama. Well, you ask
Hey,
questions
Patricia.
and I answer questions, and the questions you ask are meant to start drama. And I can't help that I answer questions, but if I don't answer the questions, I can't win.
It's you not being, is that, it's not questions being asked to you. You volunteer this information that have nothing to do with actually what's being talked about. You'll veer off into going to Katie about something from your relationship 8+ years ago.
For losing. And I'm not trying to win anything. I'm just trying to find my son.
Seth, I just want to tell you one thing.
Oh, this Nana. Oh,
I am with you 100%. And I know that you love your son. I know that you are 100% into finding your son. I'm not, from the very start, that's how I felt. And I am not going to change my mind.
Mm-hmm. I need to ask you this because I want to clear this up. It's been going around that you are asking for money for interviews. Can you clarify if that is true or not?
Nobody's giving me nothing for interviews.
okay. If you notice, not only did he stutter, but he did not answer the question. So maybe there is some legit, something to what's being said that he's now going to start charging for interviews. because he didn't deny it. He just said as of that time, he hadn't gotten anything for the interviews he did. But he hasn't said no, which should have been no.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. He answered nothing. Brittany, you really just don't get it. Sometimes I don't think that elevator even considers leaving the ground floor. Oh, Lord.
I didn't even go to CrimeCon because I was out searching that day. I couldn't see myself going and being around people instead of not being out trying to find my kid. Yeah, there's probably been some really good resources for me there.
Oh, I'm sure.
But you know that most of those people that were there, except for some of the FBI agents, I have their phone numbers. I could call them.
Yeah.
Because they've already reached out to me. I just didn't see the point of being there.
Oh, my.
Well, I mean, in all honesty,
Hey, Chica.
I'll tell you, you weren't even there, and people were already losing their mind that you were. So it probably
No, I know better than to believe crime lines and lies, because she is exactly that, lies. Like her phony neighbor call that wasn't a neighbor or was a sub, Mark W. Yeah. So yeah, anybody that would even believe anything she says, maybe should take a step back.
think that you didn't go. It's ridiculous. This is what YouTube is. It's nuts. And when you have grievance, oh, it makes me so mad.
For the longest, people have been drilling this into my head for a couple months now. YouTube is social media, but when I opened up my first YouTube account back in the 2000s, it was to listen to music, people.
Yeah.
It was just watch music videos, do it yourself videos. There wasn't all this stuff that's on it now. So yeah, I never really classified this as social media. To me, MySpace, that was social media. A lot better than Facebook, because at least you had to know how to code. And I had a MySpace. I've had Facebook too, but it's just horrible.
It is.
It's
yeah.
It's been years. It's been years since I had a Facebook. I used my Facebook account to save videos of Sebastian and pictures.
Yeah.
Because I had hard drives
Seems that way,
on me,
Patricia.
and I lost pictures. And I was like, I need someplace digital. You know what? I can use my Facebook profile.
Seth, you were on the YouTube street. Stop. Come on. If you weren't aware in the beginning, you damn sure have been for quite a while now. And it's gotten worse, not better, with you and the things you say and put out here that you shouldn't put out here. We want to support your son, and you shouldn't be attacking Chris and Katie, just like you shouldn't be being attacked and accused of doing things, because there's no evidence that any one of you have done anything. And you can't see past your revenge, and there's that thin fine line between love and hate with Katie. You can't see past that. You can't get out of that time period. You've never allowed yourself to move on.
Just make it private, and nobody can see it.
Yeah.
And I saved pictures there. I've got pictures of me and Sebastian at the zoo. Videos of me.
But all of these were when he was really young. He doesn't never talk about current memories or current videos.
Sebastian at the zoo watching the piranhas eat, because that's what he wanted to do. So we had to make sure that we were one of the first ones into the zoo. We had to make sure that we had gotten all the way over to the fish area in there before they fed them, because they fed them at the same time, every morning. And we were there to watch all of like 15 seconds of them devour this huge chunk of meat. And he was like, that was awesome.
Can I ask you, Seth, if you ever get this question, why is the only memories you talk about is when he was really young? I mean, really young. Why? I'm just curious. Those seem to be your primary memories out of 15 years of life.
And I couldn't even
I
I
love
Very
couldn't
it.
bitter.
even get my phone up, which was one of these old flip phones, to record it fast enough before they devoured it.
Mm.
And I was like, well, you want some pictures of you next to the piranha? He was like, sure.
He loved the
And then
piranhas. Bless his little heart.
and then off to watch the snakes, off
He's
to
so
sit
phony.
there and look at all the other animals, you know?
Oh my goodness.
He's an animal lover. He's always been. Yes, cats are his favorite. We had a bearded dragon when we were in California. Goose was her name. She was beautiful.
Oh my
But when I wasn't allowed to have her, she died of scale rot. So did the next snake that Katie bought him.
Wait a minute. Because you weren't allowed to have her, she died? Huh? And of course, back to blaming Katie for everything.
So sorry.
All right.
So he liked reptiles, huh? That was his and then cats, just animals in general.
What prevented you from taking care of the bearded dragon and the snake when Katie wasn't home? Because she worked a lot. She was in the military. And she would go on deployments. So what prevented you from giving it the proper care when she wasn't home? Just asking.
General.
Animals in general. But when we lived because we lived in Spring Valley, California for years.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I had 2 dogs. And we had Goose. And my ex threw a fit because I got rid of the dogs. Well,
Okay, wait a minute. Back that up. You just blamed her for a bearded dragon and a snake that you clearly didn't take care of and neglected because she didn't want you to have them. You neglected them. That's your words. So now you're saying, yet you could make the decision without her to rehome the dogs. But you couldn't make that decision to save the bearded dragon and the snake. Okay, got it.
Sebastian was taking one for a walk, and the dog took off after another dog and dragged my son down the sidewalk.
Oh my goodness.
No, you're not going to hurt my kid.
Right.
I had
My dogs drug me down the road, but not literally drug me. You know what I mean? But I get it. But maybe you should have taught, trained the dog a little bit. I don't know.
2 of them. All right. And I wanted to train them to be able to work with Sebastian. He's autistic. But when that happened, couldn't do it. It's like, and I gave them away to good homes. I didn't sell them or anything like that. I literally turned around, gave one to the guy that lived across from us who had another place to live down in Mexico. And he took him out and took Abel out to a range. And Kane, I gave to one of the ladies at his school because she had just put her dog to sleep because her dog was old.
Oh.
And I was like, I tell you what, I've got a pity. He was Stafford Razor Cross. Gray, beautiful pups. All right. I'm like, they're a little over a year old. They're still puppies. And I was like, you can have him. And I gave 50 pounds of dog food to her and gave her, Kane. Like, here you go. And Sebastian didn't even realize the dogs were gone for 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Did you ever hear the saying when someone talks too much and they keep adding detail after detail after detail? Oh, traders, I didn't forget about you. I will take care of that. In fact, I did, so I just seen your name. But hey, hi. Sometimes you just need to stop laying on the details, if you get my meaning.
That they were gone, and then I finally took the doggy door out of the hallway. And he walked up and he was like, "Why'd you do that, Dad? The dogs are going to come eat my toys." And I looked down and I was like, "Son, you had one job, and that was to feed and water the dogs in the morning before I took you to school. When was the last time you fed and watered the dogs? And he was like, oh, I guess I should feed and water them. I was like, son, I already gave them away to new homes. And he was like, oh. I was like, don't worry, I gave them to good homes though. He was like, okay. You know, he was younger then.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't attached to him like I was.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you this because I really want to clear this up too, because this is another one that's on nagging my soul.
But yet, because Katie didn't want the bearded dragon and the snake, they had to be neglected so they would die, and he could bring that on Katie. But he could make his decision on everything else. Okay, got it. Hey, Josh.
It's been people, there's certain creators that keep saying this over and over, that Sebastian was going to be made to live with you because he was being punished. Can you please clarify that? Because I don't believe that's to be the case at all.
I'll clear it up with this comment. While I was homeless in California going through a divorce and finally got the restraining order and everything cleared up in the court system, where everything that somebody had stated about me was proven false.
No. Okay. No, that's not exactly how it went. But okay. And that was 8+ years ago, Seth. You are a grown man. You should have had a job to get back on your feet. How long did you use the divorce as your excuse to not have anything? How many years? And then, you know, who helped you to relocate? Who helped you to get into your apartment? Who helped you to get your job that you supposedly still have today that you don't go do? But anyway, yeah. Just saying.
There you go.
There was no.
There you go. That's all
nothing.
Brittany can say is, there you go. That's right. You're right. Yeah, right. There you go.
Be proven that anything she said was legitimate at all, but everything that I stated was legitimate. Clear down to police reports for my son to tell me that he'd rather live.
Well, I heard him say that he doesn't go out physically looking like walking around and stuff, that he just drives around. Now, I've heard him say that many times.
Car with me, then in that house with his mom. That should tell
But
you.
they are starting that channel, so you can bet that they have him walking somewhere long enough to be recorded for content.
Yeah.
My son wasn't being punished to come live here with me. He thought he was being punished with online school. But he needed to get into therapy, and he needed to have that year of just being online school. And what people don't realize is that...
What you don't realize is you cannot be enrolled in 2 public schools at the same time. The school year wasn't even over yet, so you could not have enrolled him for the following school year. Something's just not right about this.
I've been going to online school, which I still have him registered for and enrolled. I'm just hoping that I have him found and back to me before school starts. But he was going to school with his...
And you really think he's going to go to you?
Because his godparents live up here in Clarksville too, which is why I live up here.
I have a question. Someone that wanted me to ask you this too.
So when he returns home, you think that? Okay, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Called you. Chris called you to tell you that. Here, right here, Jane. I see it, babe. Jane says, "Can Seth please explain the day that Chris called? He called you and told you Sebastian was missing, and when you arrived at the house, what Katie did with her phone."
Okay, this is all twisted up too.
She had the picture of Sebastian at Costco, shoved it in my face, and was like, "Look, see, he was having a good day."
Okay, but you're not telling the context of the conversations that were going on, and it wasn't as soon as you walked inside the door. Seth, come on now.
Hey.
What?
Like, what does that mean to me?
What? That's so bizarre.
What does that mean to me?
Is that all you can say?
And Seth, does she not talk to you ever by herself? Because I noticed that Chris says,
Pay attention to what he says, because he's going to reverse what he says now in about 2 minutes.
With you, one-on-one.
Sometimes it was difficult. Sometimes we could have. I mean, sometimes co-parenting is hard. It is hard, but you will do whatever you can to make sure that your child is okay.
Mm.
Oh, absolutely.
But I refused.
Mhm.
I refused to continue certain punishments from that house at my house because he didn't do it at my house.
And you know what? You didn't say that stuff until Chris had clarified that he didn't expect you to do at your house what happened at their house. So now you're trying to twist up what Chris said. I would imagine you were very difficult to deal with, and that's why Chris had to deal with you most times and not Katie.
Don't blame me.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that.
I know I
teach
am.
co-parenting classes.
Oh,
You
Lord,
are right.
lady, not with the hateful videos you make. Oh, my gosh. I don't know who you're teaching co-parenting classes for, but there needs to be some evaluation into that process. With the stuff you sit and spew, oh, hell no.
Right about that. And
There you go.
I did try to correct that. I heard people saying that if the kid gets
He
in
would have
trouble
had to
at
have
one
an IEP because I don't think he was mainstream for all classes. He would have had to have an IEP.
house, the punishment could spill over to the other. And I said, that is
I
not
believe that only depends on what he did wrong.
I agree with that.
well.
If he had sat there and hit a teacher or something, yeah, I don't approve of putting your hands on anybody, especially a female.
But you did, and you know you have.
Oh, hell no. So
But
me and him are going to have a nice long talk for that hour that we get here.
Hey, Ken. Hey, Linda.
And I'm going to ask him what he thinks his punishment should be. But that's only going to be after I find out what his punishment has been at his mom and Chris's.
And that would be a specific example of where both parents would have to be called in for that particular type of infraction, right?
Right, where it would be
But if
both.
you,
Correct.
like if your bedtime's 10 o'clock, kid stays up to 10:30, 10:45, and you say, okay, well, you're grounded this weekend. That grounding
Exactly,
should not
Nene.
happen at the co-parent's house. I've seen situations where one parent was actually weaponizing that so that every time the kid went over to the dad's house, he had to be
Yeah, I
grounded.
do agree with, CPS being involved multiple times with more than one parent. Well, why wouldn't you be welcome here? Of course you are. We just don't dox. We don't talk about kids. We don't go, into creators' real lives. But other than that, have fun. We keep it respectable.
For the dad's weekend. So
Yeah, no, that's my weekend with him. Not your.
I'm telling you what, if this woman is teaching co-parenting, them parents are in some serious trouble. I'm not kidding you. Go look at her. We're going to be reviewing her. Yeah.
Your weekend to control him.
that's exactly
Right.
correct.
And,
Absolutely.
and I told Katie a long time ago, when you divorce me, you lose all the protection that I give you. As in, you're no longer my spouse. And yeah, this may sound harsh or rude or whatever, but that also means I don't have to treat you like I would my loved one.
Yep.
No, that's
Because
true.
Wow.
You violated your vows.
She
You have
violated her vows because she divorced you. You didn't do anything at all. You were perfect in all ways. It was all on her. Yeah, no, don't believe that. Sorry. I see too much of your behavior, Seth. So you even tried to control her in the divorce. Protection. What protection? I don't believe you ever protected her. I just don't. You have so much animosity for her. It's unbelievable. Regardless if she's your wife or not, she is the mother of your child. That should be all it takes.
have stepped upon these vows that you took in front of somebody that are supposed to be in front of God, and you have trashed these vows because you don't want to work with me anymore. Got it. Well, I'll work with you when it comes to Sebastian. But don't expect the same treatment from me that you got when I was married.
So don't expect me to treat you with respect as a human being and the mother of my child because you divorced me because of my actions and my behavior. Wow. You see what he's saying here? I don't know who you are.
I
People
don't
think I'm
understand.
not over her. No, I still have good memories. I have a lot of good memories of me, Sebastian, and his mom. All
Yeah.
right. I never focused on the negative ones. I know them. I lived through it. But I always been
But you always do nothing but focus on negativity and getting out things to try to make
one
Katie
that
look
goes.
bad. Are you kidding me? You can't get out of that cycle for some reason. And I really think maybe some therapy would help you to get out of that cycle. It's concerning, very concerning, that all your memories go back to that time. What about all the years since?
For the positive memories. The times that we were fishing on the dock in South Georgia while we're sitting there and I've got a net over Sebastian's rocker because Sebastian's an infant and we're out there fishing at
Okay, so what? That's a normal parenting thing to do. That's what I mean. It's like you want put on the pedestal because you actually were parenting. I mean, okay, you put a net over the car seat or whatever. Okay. It's not something that you get an award for. It's called parenting. But you got to point it out that I. When we don't even know if that's factual.
night with him.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
I still
Darby.
remember things that she probably doesn't like to remember. Like, I had a pickup truck. I was the only one that was working. I was the only one. We only had one vehicle. And it started raining. And I told her, listen,
Well,
it's raining.
number one, even though I don't believe his mathin', according to his mathin', they had Sebastian. Oh, thank you, Wise Angel. A narcissist can't break their cycle of control. True. They must have had Sebastian pretty quickly into getting together because she had Sebastian by the time she was 19. She was, according to him, over 18. So I'm just saying, they didn't even get to, if what he's saying is true, well, yeah, they didn't even know each other. And boom, bang, had a kid and got married, I don't know. If you go by one of his many different scenarios, because there's several different ways that he said that. So I don't know.
Raining outside. We have a kid. You're going to have to ride in the back. You can't drive a stick shift. If you could drive a stick, I'll ride in the back. But she couldn't drive a standard.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't take Sebastian home and come back and pick you up. There's nobody at the house. I'm not leaving him. I mean,
okay, well, nobody would expect you to, and I doubt very much if Katie would tell you, leave him sitting at the lake as a baby, run me back home, and then come back and get him. Or take him home, leave him there alone, and come back and get. I don't think. Why are you adding all this unnecessary fluff? Why do you constantly keep adding things, more and more details to try to make Katie look like the bad parent? It really seems like you're not telling the truth. It really does. I just want to let you know that your own actions is why people aren't believing you. But okay.
Common sense here. One of us has to ride in the back. Well, right after that, she got online and she was like, I found out.
Be good, Ken.
All right, that's cool. You know, I
My
still miss
mods
my
will
little
wave their
Toyota.
magic wands. Be good.
You know, I remember taking her to the DMV to get her driver's license for the first time.
Oh. Okay. Again, let go of it, Seth. That has nothing to do with now, today. She is remarried and has moved on. You are still stuck there, and you really need to move on. It has nothing to do with Sebastian being missing and what's going on today. There are details we don't need to know. And I wonder how much truth there are to the details. You know, like they say, there's his side, her side, and somewhere in between the truth.
Okay, I didn't groom this lady.
I get so tired of that. Yeah, that's
This lady
awful.
she did not have the opportunities that children should have because of her father and the mistakes that her mother had made and the mistakes that her father made. She didn't get the opportunity. But
But
as
see,
her
that's
husband,
not for you to come out here and talk about. It's not your life. It didn't happen to you. That is her personal private life. You just bitched how your personal private life is none of nobody's business. Well, guess what? You don't have the right to put Katie's out here either. And not one of you women would stand up and say anything. None of you. Cowards. Clicks and views. That's why you didn't open your big traps that you run any other time.
I was damned she's going to get these opportunities. I helped her buy her first car. Sprayed my wrist, changing the brake pads.
And like I said, excessive details. And it's always I. Me. I hurt myself doing this for someone else. I did this.
Vehicle. You know?
Yeah, he is just like Brittany, a
People
perpetual
will
victim.
make trash up
Oh, thank you,
because
T.
they're
Marie.
trashy people.
You're right about
Thank you, T. Marie. Welcome to Poolside, everybody. Thank T for your membership. You are now a misfit.
that. You're right
And then
about
they're
that.
going to get butthurt when they get a cease and desist because they're talking garbage and they're
Okay.
making me look bad, which I don't need it.
Okay, that's what it's all about. He thinks they are making him look bad. It's not about Sebastian for him. He just said that is probably the truest thing he said in this whole time. It's making him look bad. Sebastian was being kept in the forefront. People were talking. People were putting up flyers. People were doing billboards.
Anybody to help me do that, thank you.
Well, I think calling somebody a predator,
Yes.
that's more than talking shit. That's a crime.
Yeah.
They can't do that, you know.
Yeah.
So when I thought about that, I said, well, maybe that explains the cease and desist letters. I wouldn't let anybody say things like
You know,
that.
when there's a YouTubist out there claiming that they made
It's a YouTuber, not a YouTubist. No such thing.
$20,000 off of my son,
Oh my God,
Okay, that's gross.
that is gross.
Oh, Brittany, what about all the money you've made after live talking about Sebastian and going it? It's okay because you've gone at Chris and Katie and you've been on the Seth train. So it's okay that you make money, right? You too, Jules, right?
they got a cease and desist too. Because you're nasty. You're using the fact that
Oh,
my son's
goodness.
not here and telling people you made $20,000. You're pretty nasty.
Ugh.
When a YouTuber that is literally
It's a
here in
YouTuber.
Tennessee sits there and asks me about handguns, and I give him my personal opinion of what he should be looking for because of the performance, and he wants to talk about how much money he has. And I said, well, while you're at it, if you're making that much, why don't you buy 2 and give me 1? No, the pistol don't cost $2,000. They're $2,500. I've been saving up for 4 months before my son went missing to get it. Do you think I have that money now? No. I spent that
Oh,
money in doing other things.
poor you. Seth, you've been given plenty of cash. Knock it off. You have had flyers donated, thousands of them given to you. Signs. You've made money with your storefront selling Sebastian merchandise. Stop it. You have made money. People have donated everything. You need to stop.
Right.
Right.
Dude, did I want it? I sure did. That was going to be a birthday present from me to me.
Oh, poor
Now
you.
I just want to find my son.
And you also failed to tell people for a while you were still being paid as well.
I get it.
I don't give a fuck about present. I give a fuck about being able to hold my baby boy.
Hold on a minute. Can I?
No,
wanna,
all you did was cry about how poor you were saving for a pew pew and couldn't get it because your son had to run away. And, forget that you were given thousands and thousands of dollars. But yeah, okay.
clarify that right now. Are you saying that the person bragged to you about making that money?
Yes.
Oh my
That is-
god.
That's
I can't
just
with that.
crazy.
I'm sorry, y'all. That right there is awful.
It's like,
That is
you are
horrific.
such a piece of shit. And to think that I come under your thing and I think that you have my back and I tell you to be safe while you're out there doing what you're doing in other states because
See, everyone thought he was talking about T-Reb. He wasn't. T-Reb doesn't go to other states. He was talking about JLR because he even says, no, not T-Reb. T-Reb showed me what he made. Dookie, stay out of my cords. Seriously, Kat, stay out of my cords. It is too hot and sticky for you to be rubbing all over me. I love you, but you need to go play with your toys. He's looking at me like, lady, shut up. I'll do what I want.
been taken advantage of by YouTubers, content
Hey,
creators,
Terry.
more like copy clickers. Because they just want to take interviews and dissect them. Oh, did you see how his eyeball twitched? Oh, he keeps his hand up above. I've got nerve.
Seth. Brittany and her panels have done oh my God. And Betty, they've done the same thing, just not about you. That's why it's okay, because it's not about you, because you let a cat out of the bag when you said they're making me look bad, because it's all about you.
Damage in my right arm, and I can't even make it into
Oh
an
my
MRI.
Lord. Oh boy.
I've been waiting for over a month, close to 2,
That's
for
your
an MRI.
No, that's your fault. Keep your appointments and show up.
All right. Yeah, I'm. There's days that I cannot pull myself out of my bed.
I can tell. I mean, this has taken a toll.
Yes, it's too
Have
much.
you
I'm gonna bite my tongue hard.
Would you be able to just sort of stay away from the whole YouTube stuff for a week or so, just to kind of give
I
yourself?
did. That's why I deleted my account. I couldn't even watch any music or
You
anything.
never stayed away, Seth. You did not ever stay away. You have been panel hopping and chat hopping all along.
Thank God.
And now you have another channel that you're starting with Tony. Stop it.
I'm old enough that I still have CDs.
Yeah.
Bless your heart. It's not good for anybody.
Yeah, not
It's
allowed to
not,
talk about the
especially-
boss like
listen,
that.
I, as a creator myself, I've said this before you've been on my panel, and I'll say it again. When it comes to cases with missing children or tragedies or anything like that, this place is a cesspool.
It is.
For families. It's horrible. What they're doing to you, what's happened to
And guess what, Brittany? You and your panels are a part of that. Yeah.
many others. It's absolutely gross.
You know what's? It is gross, but you know what? When you get people that are paying people to continue to do it, where is the? I mean, really, you can't blame them. people want to pay for the drama. They're like, this is better than, cable TV.
It's sad.
And
but
it's like,
Okay, he's sitting on a drama channel that does exactly what they're blaming everybody else for. Brittany, who doesn't have a functioning brain cell, does exactly that. Betty, his new BFF, his new mouthpiece, is nothing but a drama channel. She very much does the drama every chance she can get. Okay, I can't, man. Wow.
the only difference is this is real life. This isn't Law and Order. This is literally somebody's life.
Well, Seth, I mean, on mainstream TV, the reality TV shows, people flock to that, right?
Actually, reality TV numbers are not that great anymore. Just so you know. Jules, I thought you really need to do some serious research with an open mind. You need to use those ears and eyes proportionately that you've been given, because you clearly don't. I've scoped your channel. You're gross.
Don't have TV. I had Netflix. That's about it. Now I don't even have that. I actually haven't had a TV subscription. I stopped watching TV when my doctor told me you need to stop watching the news.
Yeah.
The news is affecting your health.
Absolutely.
And that was back in 2011.
Okay. Your doctor told you to stop watching the news because it was affecting your health. You let the news do that to you, and then you wanted to come to YouTube. Okay, makes sense. Perfect. It's perfectly. Yeah. No.
Yes. And
So I was like, I tell you what, that's $120 that could be put towards something else.
Absolutely agree. But the reality TV where they take a group of people that don't know each other, put them in a house together, and then they add a bunch of alcohol, and then they film and watch as these people just go through their days fighting and being ugly. There's a certain element of our population today that they like.
What the hell is that?
I think, my opinion, you
That's
get a lot
on
of
Brittany's
that
channel.
with some of these channels where there's drama all the time. And that one particular channel that she's got it for Christopher Proudfoot, that they do seem to really like enjoy that type of banner. And
it's awful.
it is and the only thing that you can do, Seth, is to insulate yourself from it and just not watch it. Don't go there, don't listen. You're not going to control these people. We sat, Brittany can tell you, we sat and watched for about 2 years as Chris Watt's wife, Shanann Rudek, her parents hired attorneys. They sent cease and desist to YouTube. They tried to sue YouTube, individual creators, just trying to make people stop with the nonsense, and they could never get it to happen. And
the drama will never stop because there's always people that are craving the drama.
Mm-hmm.
But
you're sitting on a panel of drama. You create a lot of this drama. My gosh, what is going on here? Are we in the freaking Twilight Zone?
as creators, you guys can limit it because you can limit the drama. That stuff's not allowed here. If you keep it up, you can go somewhere else because you won't be allowed here. I mean, that's just the way it is. Somebody was wanting to know about me leaving my son at home. When he was here, my son was responsible. Have you ever known? Okay, my son was never an eloper. He never eloped. He never ran out, ran away, no nothing. Besides the fact that my neighbors all around know my son and think that he's the wonderfulest child they've ever met.
Oh,
okay.
He does seem
I
like
mean,
a little darling.
My neighbor has stated that she has watched him come out this door and stand in the driveway, and she was out here, and he was like, "Hi, how you doing?" She's like, "Hey, what are you up to?" And he was like, "My dad will be home in about 7 minutes."
Aw.
And she's like, "How do you know?" And he was like, "Because I know what time it is. My dad's never late when he's coming home from work. He'll be home in about 7 minutes." And she's like, "Oh," he was like, "I come home. He's already got coffee made and everything." And it's like, "How'd you know I was coming home early?" He was like, "I just knew you were coming home, Dad."
So sweet. So
I
sweet.
made that promise to him. "I'm going to work, son. I'll call you later on tonight." Because I'd call him from the jail. Because I can't have my cell phone in there. All right. So I would call his cell phone from the jail. And I would see how he was doing. He never had a reason to leave. I hate this word.
There you go.
I really hate this word. But the kid had plenty of food and snacks in this house for him. All right. And when I say snacks, I'm talking about he's got yogurt cups, fruit.
Okay, so you mean that, are you trying to insinuate that he didn't at Katie's? Because he clearly did. He was clearly well taken care of. And even the neighbors said he was happy-go-lucky. Seth, stop it. You hadn't even seen him for the last, whole month of February? Why is that? Is that because of what happened in January?
Cups, everything in the fridge, carrots, celery, peanut butter. Boy knows how to cook. Does he,
Hey, Laura.
Hot Pockets, burritos, you name it, in the freezer, because he knows how to use the microwave. And then if I was here, he would cook on the stove, because that's what I was teaching him to do. I was teaching him to be independent for himself.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And you think you were the only one parenting and teaching him things? You had him twice a month when you did get him. Okay.
Have to let them grow if they're ever going to be able to fly on their own.
How can I just ask for clarification? And listen, I'm not judging you at all, because I think you love your son, and there's no doubt in my mind. I don't question it. But did you have to work overnight, or was it during the day?
I worked overnight.
Okay, and he did fine. That's good. I mean, listen, I have a child on the spectrum.
Look, Brittany wants to say something, but she's too much of a coward to say it. What she wants to say is, "Oh, wow, you left him alone overnight, all night long, all the time?" Yeah, she just did not. You could tell by the way what she's saying. She just doesn't have the kahunas to say it. And also, she wouldn't understand that, because could actually have a job or have a spouse have a job to know what it's like.
I can tell y'all about him. Sebastian was 15. They're perfectionists. Was Sebastian a perfectionist? Did he have to do things the right way? And, very punctual? Just curious.
Not really following the question, but Sebastian.
Not really following the question, because it's not about me. And I can't answer anything but from 8+ years ago when he was little.
Sebastian knew he needed it.
Right. So usually when a lot, I don't want to say that because it's not fair, but in the cases
I'll tell you
that
what,
I've seen,
I'd come home and his bed ain't made. Did he make his bed like he was
I love
supposed to? No. I come home and be like, "Sebastian, did you brush your teeth last night before you went to bed?" I'm gonna take that as a no. Go brush your teeth.
It's a typical teenager.
Yeah, he's a teenager. He's gonna rebel. Welcome to being, a parent of a teenager.
Oh, it works for you, but not for Katie. And you blame Katie and Chris for leaving him home after school for a couple hours. Granted, it was only a couple hours, and it was immediately after school. It wasn't for 12 to 14 hours. Just saying, big difference. He also had access to gaming, didn't he?
Things you have to do. Certain things you just look over. Certain things you have to remind them of. All right?
Well,
That's basic common sense. You got to pick your battles. That's basic common sense, period, in life, but especially parenting. I've had to pick a couple of these last few days, let me tell you. My 6-year-old is still on his feelings over not getting that damn Domino's pizza. He's just not going to let me live that down. Yet. he's very stubborn, and it takes him a minute to get over things. But yeah,
I
I
was
would-
happy if
Mhm.
he made sure that his room was maintained.
There you
And he
go.
know how he knew how to wash his own laundry.
Oh, that's
You know,
good.
when he was having accidents, all right, he didn't get in trouble for having the accident. He got in trouble for not cleaning it up.
There you go.
Guaranteed, this is when he was like 11 and 12, because we were getting to the point where he didn't have accidents at my house. He didn't need to wear a pull-up. He didn't have to,
well, you wouldn't
he was
know
here
much.
for 2 weeks at one point in time. I think he had an accident. He didn't make it.
Okay, so then he did have accidents, Seth. Stop it. And you made him clean up after himself, so maybe he did it without you even aware of it.
In time. Not he was sitting there and just peed himself like, oh, I peed myself.
That's
No, he didn't make it there in time, and he peed himself trying to get his little thing out so that he could sit there and
See?
pee.
yeah.
All right.
I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I don't believe the way he's saying it. I just don't. I don't. I've been around autistic boys at that age. So I've been around. No, I'm just not believing the way he's stating it.
And I looked at him and I was like, okay,
And it wasn't just
not-
because he was autistic. I hate that they use that to define this kid, because autism doesn't define who he was. But he had other things like the chromosome deletion, the medications. You know, there could have been multiple.
in trouble for that. But what you do need to do is you now need to take a shower, and you need to go ahead and start a load of laundry when you're done, because you got it on you. You got pee on you, son. It's urine. You don't want to smell like that. It's not good for your skin. Hot shower, clean yourself up, start a load of laundry. If he had an accident in the bed, because he was also getting to that age as well, the last time he had an accident, I don't think he peed himself.
What?
Mhm. Well, I want to tell
Because
you.
he's a boy. And I was like, hey, your clothes are wet, so I need you to go ahead and get up. He was like, but Dad, I didn't pee myself. I was like, son, I'm not asking you what happened. I'm telling you, I need you to get up. I need you to strip your bed. We need to go ahead and get that stuff ready for the washer. And I need you to just go take a shower.
And he
There
would
is
do it,
no-
and all is fine, right? I mean, but
And then afterwards, he took a shower, put the laundry in, started the washer, washed that. We Lysoled the bed to make sure, like we do any other time we're doing linens. And he made his bed, and there was no more conversation about it. I don't
so
understand why there would be more conversation. It happened. It's in the past. We clean ourselves up. We take care of what happened, and we move on.
You've not moved
well,
on.
I guess that's why I struggle, because you said he did so well. You know, I don't understand why he had to
There was
wear-
no reason for him to tell that story with all them details, to put that out about his son. You can't embarrass a kid anymore. Unfreaking believable. Are you kidding me, Seth? Are you really kidding me? And you women up there, your mothers. None of you have any kahunas, because that should have been.
You know, I don't.
I couldn't have. I'm sorry, but I would have had to speak up. I got a mouth. I would have had to have spoke up. Okay, Michelle or Melissa. Sorry.
But they made him wear them
Wait a minute,
24/7 at their house. It just seemed.
Hey,
I don't
can
think he was.
Can I say something real quick?
Oh,
I don't think he was. But okay, and it really. Okay.
Absolutely.
This is for Jenny P. T-Rev isn't the person that made $20,000.
I told you all.
Okay. T-Rev told me how much he made in 1 month. I haven't stated how much he made in 1 month. Some
It
of the
was
stuff.
JLR because, and I tried to say that in Granny's chat today, and everyone's like, "No, it was T-Rev." No, it wasn't. T-Rev doesn't go from state to state making videos and streaming like JLR does. He was referring to JLR.
Stuff that came out of his mouth to me after being quote unquote my brother, as he has stated. The fact is
that you've stated many times.
he did this to himself.
Oh,
And he continues to sit there and do what he did.
sorry, I keep clicking my lighter.
do
I'll put
not
it
have
down.
a problem with people getting $10, $5 super chats, whatever, because I know that that's what you're doing. But if you're spreading my son's case in a positive manner, instead of talking about him, because you guys don't know him, you guys don't really know me. But if you're going to sit there and talk down about my son or talk down to me, you're with the drama. I can't have it. Jenny P.
You can't have it. You're sitting on one of the biggest drama panels on this case there is. Your new mouthpiece is nothing but the drama and the lies. What are you talking? You're mad. And I haven't heard no one saying bad things about Sebastian. No one. You don't, like you said, they making you look bad. It's all about you, Seth.
Know what I'm talking about. And if I'm a sad ass individual, what's that make you for not knowing what I'm speaking about? See, that's part of the drama, Jenny.
Yeah, her thumbnails are
You don't
harsh.
know who I'm speaking about. I haven't stated everybody that I sent a cease and desist to.
And
I stated I sent it to 6 people.
And Jenny P, who are you to say to someone who's lost their child, their child is gone? Who the hell do you think you are for calling them a sad ass person?
Who are you? Who the hell do you think you are, Jules, to attack Katie and Chris with the vile, disgusting things you do? Look at your gross thumbnails. Who do you think you are to do the same thing to the parents of a missing child? How dare you think you're any different? You're actually worse.
I can't even imagine a world like that. Have you tried to put yourself in his shoes for about 2 seconds?
Have you tried to put yourself in Katie's shoes for about 2 seconds? Huh? Because at the end of the day, you don't know if Chris and Katie, or the Tin Man had anything to do with Sebastian's disappearance. There's no evidence of anything. But you've already got them convicted. And it's okay for you to do it to her. It's not okay to do it to any of them. And he is okay with all the vileness being spewed about Katie. The only reason why he even comes around your channels is because you do it for him. You're his little puppets. It's really gross. It shouldn't be about it shouldn't be about going at none of the parents. But all he does is cry, woe is me, just like Brittany all the time. You know, she is the perpetual victim and grifter. Isn't her opening? Love you all. Love you. You keep my lights on. Shut up.
Even imagine the panic that a person would have not knowing where their child is and just trying anything to try to figure out even what direction to go in.
Okay, and you don't talk to Katie and Chris? You don't know anything about them? You really don't know anything about Seth or Sebastian either. You know, at the end of the day, you know what he's put out here. That's it. So you can't speak on none of it, but you do. And you make some very, very, very harsh judgments on Katie. Yeah. You know, Why don't you go sit on some more panels and laugh about the indigenous people, you know, like y'all did. You made fun of American Indians. Every one of you. You were disgusting. And you didn't answer that today, grannies. You deflected away from it. You never owned your shit, which I didn't think you would. I've heard you enough. You're one of Brittany's sidekicks, regular sidekicks. I've heard your mouth enough when you were on her panel. Before I even checked out your videos, I knew what you was about.
What does that mean, you sad ass individual? You
Right.
are the one that's reflecting yourself to be a sad ass individual. Okay, I'm done, Brittany. Sorry. about that.
No, tell it. That mods, I want zero tolerance for tonight because that right there, I tell my mods to and let's still have freedom of speech, but not like that. That shit ain't okay at all.
Why?
And-
You're going to ban that person, and Seth's going to back you up doing it. He wants you to do it. Because, you know, he can control your panel when he's here. You allow that because you have no kahunas, Brittany. You have no backbone. You really, truly don't. You think because you jump up on a panel with somebody who's mad or doesn't care for you, that shows that you have backbone? It doesn't, because you run. You always do. Anyway, you won't say the truth to him. You've tripped yourself up a few times trying not to say it. That shows you have no backbone.
And there's one other one, audacity. I just get
Audacity.
the feeling that if the other parent left him that long, there would be an outrage. Katie knew what I did. She knows how long my shifts are. She knows that I work nights and I work 12-hour shifts. She knew everything before she came up, before we even agreed to that.
Well, here's the thing too. I'm listening to what.
So
Seth-
you're telling me that, oh, Seth, I'm sure you drug out as much as you could about the divorce and the custody because you're still there. You still haven't let go. So I'm sure you drug that out to you. Katie probably gave you things just to make it end, just to make it stop. Because that's just the kind of person you are, and that's with your own actions and words. So now you're saying this was a new visitation agreement? Just saying, doesn't look like it was working out too well because you haven't been at that job very long. I mean, actually working it, because you were actually off work before Sebastian went missing. But okay.
Seth
And
says
Katie, Sebastian would get off at 3:00, and Katie wouldn't get home until 6.
Oh,
or
it is
7
beer
o'clock in the
can?
evening. So if you think that me leaving him for 12 hours,
Oh yeah, he thinks Betty is. You know, Betty's his new mouthpiece. She's not great. He doesn't love her. Betty's his new mouthpiece. He knows that she'll spew all the vile, disgusting things and amp it up, and that's exactly what he wants. Betty's his little puppet.
I go to work at night. She left him at home alone as well.
Oh, gotta turn it back around on Katie. God forbid she's working a job, and for 2 to 3 hours after school, he's at home. That's a big difference in 12 to 14 hours when you only get him for 48. So how much did you really do? You weren't with them for that long. Just saying.
I remember
All right.
Chris say
He's
that.
15 years old. No, we communicated about that because one of the things that I wanted her to make sure that she understood is that I work 12-hour shifts.
Mhm.
Sometimes I have to stay over. It's mandated, and I have to pull 16-hour shifts because we're shorthanded. We got to have officers there for the inmates. And she was completely
Okay,
aware.
look, I'm not shading him. He was working. He had a job. He had no choice. But don't act like you were this hands-on. I spent all this time with him, Dad. When you only had him 48 hours and you worked anywhere from 12 to 16? Wow. Okay.
This. See, there was communication. There was co-parenting when it came to Sebastian.
Oh, Dad, did you hear that? Now, did he say earlier that the co-parenting didn't work and it was really bad? Now he's saying they had good co-parenting when it came to Sebastian. Well, you wouldn't co-parent about anything else but Sebastian. And there would be no reason to talk anything outside of Sebastian. However, and this is just my opinion, but my take on it is he constantly wanted to talk about things that didn't need to be talked about. And yeah. And he's just the kind that strikes me that fought her on every turn. Every turn. I could be wrong. And I could be misreading it. I'm no professional here.
Best in the world. But at least both of us.
There's a
tried.
pirate looking at me.
Well, one thing that I actually that sticks out for me with everything, and I've tried to even tell everybody, what, regardless of what you believe, that you can't deny that even Chris and Katie themselves has spoke very highly of Seth's relationship with Sebastian.
No, they've never attacked and tried to defame him or make him seem like the bad parent like he's done to them. And they still haven't done it. Oh, I'm sure there's things they could say. They just chosen Sebastian first. They've chosen not to do the drama on every panel and chat they could get their hands on. And not to attack the other parent. Because they put Sebastian in the forefront. Like they said, what good would it help? What good would it do? How would it help Sebastian? It doesn't. It helps Seth. Oops. These ads get on my nerves. Okay, let me go. Somehow it went off again, but it's almost over.
This lady TV subscription. I stopped watching TV when I'm not really following the question, but
Are you to say to someone who's lost their child?
Can't.
Okay, he
Yeah,
jumps
somebody
down
can
now.
get-
I think that was the end of
she
Seth.
knows how long my shifts are. She knows that I work nights and I work 12-hour shifts. She knew everything before we even agreed to that.
Well, here's the thing too. I'm listening to what Seth
And
says.
Katie, Sebastian would get off at 3:00, and Katie wouldn't get home until 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. So if you think that me
can't
leaving
stay out
him
here.
for
I'm
12
almost-
hours while I go to work at night, she left him at home alone.
I'm sorry I
well.
backed it up too
During
much,
the
but
day.
I just wanted you to
Alright.
hear
He's 15 years
that,
old.
yet again, he had to turn it around and make it look like, well, Katie did it.
No, we communicated about
My
that.
issue isn't that he was at home. It happens. Parents got to work. My issue is with the attacks on Katie and Chris. And no, Dallas. No. And you know better while I'm on here. You can't be bouncing the ball. You guys can play in the pool. I'm almost done. Okay, baby? All right? Yeah, in a couple minutes. Just give Mommy Kathy a couple more minutes. Okay, no bouncing the ball, please. Thank you. Don't bounce it in the house either, goofball. Loves you. Use a goofball. I know you don't work. He's getting so damn big on me. Anyway.
Because one of the things that I wanted her to make sure that she understood is that I work 12-hour shifts. Sometimes I have to stay over. It's mandated, and I have to pull 16-hour shifts because we're shorthanded. We got to have officers there for the inmates.
Like I said, no one's shading you for that. You're working. We've got to work. You got to pay the bills. You got to eat. That is not my issue with you, Seth. My issue is how you just turned it around and tried to put it, well, Katie does it. Dear Lord. There's a big difference between 2 hours to maximum 3 hours, if that, to 12 to 16 hours. I'm just saying. But I get it. You had to work. It is what it is. But you come out here and say, oh, well, he's like a 10-year-old. Then you come out here and say, well, I. was teaching him this and that. I was doing this and that. But they were not. But I. See, that's my issue with you.
And she was completely aware of this. See, there was communication, there was co-parenting when it came to Sebastian. He wasn't the best in the world.
See, but he said earlier there wasn't, and they couldn't do it because they couldn't get, it wasn't good. And here he is saying there was. And this is all within a 20-minute time frame. If you sit back and rewatch this without my mouth running, doing my commentary, and you just listen, and you will hear, if you know his other interviews, which are a lot, you will hear inconsistencies. I mean, I wrote mine down. I mean, this is insane. This is totally insane. I mean, and these are just a couple things. But let him finish because he's about done.
Well, one thing that I actually that sticks out for me with everything, and I've tried to even tell everybody, regardless of what you believe, that you can't deny that even Chris and Katie themselves has spoke very highly of Seth's relationship with Sebastian.
Yeah.
They said that if
because they refused to feed into the drama and attack the other parent, they have made sure to put Sebastian in the forefront. That's why. Oh, I'm sure there's a lot they could say. A whole lot. And I think Seth knows it. And he also knows that they won't. That's why he's continuing what he's doing. Because he's being allowed to get away with it. Like I said, they put Sebastian in the forefront. It's not about I, me, the greatest parent in the world, me. To them, it's about Sebastian.
If Sebastian was in sports, you bet his father would be on the front row. I don't know what happened. Seth, if you want to come back in, I'll drop the link to you again. Y'all, let's be respectful. Y'all, it's easy to hear he's going through some things. I mean,
it's on the edge.
He is. And I'm sorry for that. And I pray every day that Sebastian, and I believe he's going to be found. I believe it. I have to make myself believe it because of these idiots. Because none of y'all do. Y'all don't want him found. It appears that way. It appears that way. I want the boy found, like yesterday. But all this is so unnecessary. And it's done nothing to help Sebastian. And you can slam Chris and Katie all you want because you didn't like his demeanor. Seth acts no different, sometimes worse. But you give him a pass. What more proof do you need that man isn't going out physically searching every day? Because I can guarantee you he's not. You don't want to hear the things that Chris and Katie have done because it doesn't fit your narrative. So again, if this is about Sebastian, why are you constantly going after his parents? Why? For your own greed? For your numbers? Because had you fired up alive and not attacked either side, not rode the Seth train, Brittany, you know as well as I do, you wouldn't be getting the numbers, the paid memberships, the super chats. Come on, stop it. You know it. But some of the things, he was, he'd say on one hand, they didn't co-parent. Then on the other hand, 5 minutes down the road, it was great. It was good co-parenting. They co-parented good about Sebastian. Well, that's the only thing you co-parent about is the child. Any other discussions are not co-parenting if they are not about the child. Sitting there, the hypocrisy cracks me up. They're doing exactly what they're sitting there blaming everybody else for doing. I can't, man. Hey, Brian. Good to see you. Hey, Daisy May. I am good. I hope they like it. Do they tip? Maybe they'll tip me. Maybe the FBI will tip me. That would be nice. If they're going to stream me, and stream snipe, then they should pay a little bit of money. Okay.
This platform has made it even tit for tat. Thank you, sweetheart, for joining. And
you are the part of the platform that's made this so ugly and turned it into a freaking circus. Congratulations. You are now part of a group.
Y'all, I seen y'all's questions. I didn't want to cut him off. I wanted to give him the floor as much as we could. But if he comes back up, I'll try to catch him. I honestly don't hold it against him about leaving Sebastian at home, because I've heard, it's been
Patricia,
out there.
I can't imagine the chaos. Because if this is how people show you who they are, something tells me, just from my experiences in life and dealing with a lot of family court because of, fostering and stuff, the things I've witnessed, he would be a very difficult parent to work with. And he himself said, he's told his son, well, mommy doesn't love me anymore. I'm sure that's not all. You never discuss your adult situation with the child. You don't put that on the child. But I'm sure it was. And I just think there was so much hostility. That would have been tough. It really would have been. Yeah, she was an ass over there for sure.
Too.
I got down. I'm glad I did, because I thought about going back up, but I couldn't go up there and disrespect Granny, and I would have disrespected Granny's panel, because I'd shut that mouth right on up.
That for quite some time. I just didn't know exactly, the details of it, but he also said that, I think Seth has a duplex. They have close neighbors too. So,
yeah, it's like a townhouse. It's like, in some areas they're called double houses. In some they're called townhouses or duplexes or condos. They're all the same. There's multiple units, but you do have an up and down stairs in some of them. And some of them have a garage. Yeah, we got them all over Florida.
I don't know, y'all. He was 15. You can't. If somebody can nitpick me for a lot of things as a parent,
And Robin is 100% right. Sebastian did not go missing while he was at Seth's house and Seth was at work.
That's because he hadn't been to Seth's house in weeks prior to this. You might want to do your homework. And that doesn't matter. He didn't, check with her to see if it was okay to run away. It's not usually how it works.
He went missing when he was in the big fancy house.
Okay, but that wasn't her fault. And nor is it on her that she lives in a nice house. Y'all jealous much? I mean, you and your panel, you always got to throw in that, someone has this or someone has that. So what? Y'all jealous because y'all concentrate on what everybody else has. Maybe go get it for your own life, and then you won't have nothing to be jealous of. Just saying.
Mom was asleep right next door to it. And the door never seemed to open in the middle of the night. So I don't know why. I don't know why all this nitpicking on the kind of parent Seth is or what.
What about all the nitpicking on Katie and Chris? It's beyond nitpicking with them.
Because taking a belt off of a child and striking them is completely different than a parent who, teaches a kid to be, self-sufficient while they go to work. None of that has anything to do with them going missing. The belt might have something to do with
I can't with this one.
with them going missing.
I'm gonna need a whole bag of gummies when I review her.
It's so odd, the attacks that
it is the hypocrisy, lady, because go look at your videos. You're a hypocrite. You're doing exactly that.
Are taken away from, like you said, Brittany, staying with those red flags, right?
Absolutely.
Brittany,
I
I
mean-
back. I would love for you to ask him, and I don't want to butt in, and I don't want to say anything because I'm not a creator, so I'm just the bystander. But if you could ask him, is he getting mental health? Because I worry about him.
I know, right?
I do worry about him, and I want him to be okay. And I'm hoping that he's
That
getting
lady's
mental
too
health.
Involved.
Trish says, I
emotionally.
can't become a member from my iPhone tonight, but wanted to share prayers to Seth. Thank you, Trishy. And your picture's so pretty. If the mods want to try to drop the membership link, we can try again. Okay,
Right.
yeah. So Starlight's put it on members only. You might have to take it off so Seth can post in the chat.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I don't want to review this whole. They go on for hours. Maybe we'll look at it later, but there's almost another 2 hours of it. I'm gonna come back tonight and finish the panel, the ultimate grifting panel. We didn't finish that. I want to finish up some BHB, and in the process, I'm redacting court docs. Yeah, he could have. Tammy, you got a good point. I don't know, guys. What do you think about all the stuff he said? What's y'all's opinions on that? I don't know. It's just really weird how he will, no matter what they're talking about, he will take the conversation into an old memory about him and Katie. Every time. Everything is Katie's fault. Well, Katie did this. Katie did that. I mean, I'm sure we could all, everybody who's been divorced can make those same claims about each other. But, it doesn't mean that you go put them all over the internet, especially when your child's missing. I don't know. I'm going to shut that music off. It's driving me nuts. I need a break from it. Peace and quiet. Yes, I love it. I'm going to start turning that down even super lower. I don't know. I just still can't figure out anything because Seth is dumb and seems guilty, but Katie had Seth when he went missing. Oh, you mean Sebastian? Yeah, I don't know. I don't, like I said, I don't really think that any of the parents, I threw stuff out there just as what ifs because, people were asking me in my chat. So I said, well, what if? I mean, the what ifs, I guess, can be put out there, but I don't know. I still stick to my theory that he went out to meet someone. It's just the way it all happened. Yeah, he definitely got in a car with someone. But then again, I can't say definitely because I'm not law enforcement. In my, in my way of thinking, um, it just I don't know. And just by the way things were done, I don't think it was like planned for very long, if you know what I mean. I don't know. But like I said, I'm not law enforcement. They know more than we do. Um, Me saying, well, hey, Seth's gonna have his mom pick him up, or one of his gaming, but putting that out there, what's that gonna help? Because if what he says is true, law enforcement has went back a year and got all their data off their phones. So they've been looking at certain things for a very, for an extended time period. Um, was that when the visitations like that started? I don't know, but they were interested in that time period. And he says that it was, a fairly new arrangement. So he'd only been at the job for less than a year. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. But until law enforcement says more, we won't know. Yeah, I on one hand he says that Sebastian can do all this, then on the other hand he says he puts it, he wants you to think that he's got the mind of a 10-year-old. I don't know. I look at him as a 15-year-old boy. Period. Seth, Sebastian. No, I'm just saying the way it was done. I mean, with the no shoes, and he was probably told not to take his phone, or maybe it was he was rushing out to meet someone. I don't know. Anything at this point is possible. Do I think he just was walking away and got ahead of everybody that quickly? No, 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 I don't. The police were involved rather quickly. She was out looking for him. Um, yeah, no, I don't know. The neighborhood kids are driving me nuts. They're yelling my name. Yeah, it is, Remy. I seen that. Thank you for pointing that out. I should have posted it. I probably will. But yeah, it's on the TBS site, the TBI. But I mean, for all I don't know. But I do think that because there's no way he could have just disappeared so quickly unless he got in a vehicle. And I don't know. I mean, it's not even a big town. It's not, yeah. Four. Oh my God. I'm going to get YouTube Premium. Oh, stop that. But I don't know if they were on mine or her, and they'll stop mine, right? But not the person. Because before when I had it, it would stop mine, but not the person. Not if some did get through, and I think it was from the channels I had recorded and was watching. That's probably what. I'm sorry about that, Remy. Isn't there a highway, busy road that Gray pointed out in debunked flashlight videos? Yeah, it's a good distance away, but yeah. Oh, I get revenue if you play them. That's how I get the 4 pennies. Oh, cool. No, it's actually it depending on the amount of views. But I do need y'all to hit that like button. The more likes we can get this video in the algorithm. I'm watching my neighbor's dogs play with a tennis ball. They are hysterical. Those things jump so high up in the air. They are funny. And my dog wants right back out. He's so spoiled. And it's so hot. It's muggy. It is really muggy today. And we're not getting no rain, of course. I think I'm going to jump in the pool with the kids for a little bit. And I'm going to come back tonight. It'll be after 7 because I got to get the kids ready for bed and everything. So it probably won't be till like 8 o'clock. But we're going to finish up what we did the other night, and then Brittany's stuff. I'll play a little bit more of this live if you want to hear it, because they had some things to say afterwards that were that one with the big mouth, that Jules. Oh dear, yeah, I'm going to devote a show to that one. But I want to finish up with Betty because I want to show you some things that she said that probably won't surprise you at all. And then yeah. And we're going to get into some Karen Reed stuff too. And I got some things I want to show about that. I got to fit that in somehow too. But I think Nonsense is live. So y'all want to head over there. But thank y'all for joining me. I know it was a small audience today, and I appreciate you guys. The important ones were here. I appreciate that. You guys support me no matter what. But yeah, thank you so much, really. Thank you, mods. Thank you for the super chat and the memberships. And don't forget to hit that like and that little bell thing on your way out the door. And enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm getting jumping in the pool, and I will see you folks tonight for sure. All right, night all. Listen to me. Have a good afternoon. Bye, all.